Welcome to this new session of Sahaja Yoga meditation. My name is Paul and I'm broadcasting from Melbourne tonight. This session will be done in two parts. The first part, 15 minutes, where we are going to review the subtle system for the new people joining us tonight. And we're also going to get through the first meditation or self-realization that we will get together. The second part, which will be about 45 minutes, we are going to talk about the topic of the day, which is yoga. What's the real meaning of yoga, how it was practiced at the time, long time ago, and what's its relevance today. So first of all, let me explain again the subtle system we have within us. You might know in the medical science we have a nervous system, central nervous system, we have a body, we have different organs, but what is not known is the subtle system, not as commonly known, despite the fact that the subtle system was known for centuries, for millenniums, especially in India. So what we have here, called in Sanskrit nadi, we have three channels. Left channels, the blue one that you can see here. The right channel, which is the yellow one, you can see on the chart here, and the central channel, which is in white in the middle. And we also have within us plexuses at different positions in our body, and in Sanskrit they are called chakras. And in total we have 7 chakras in our body that are related to different qualities within us. What we also have is an energy, a motherly energy within us called the Kundalini, which is located in the sacrum bone here at the base of the spine. And somehow people knew it because it's called the sacred bone. And that Kundalini is actually when the Kundalini awakens and actually opens up the different center on the central part, the central channel, can give us, when it opens the 7th center at the top of our head, what we call self-realization. Well, let me explain a little bit again what is the purpose of these different channels and chakras. First of all, the left channel is all about our desires. Before to go into action, before to do anything, we have to have a desire, isn't it? So the left channel, starting at the first chakra here, is the channel of our desires, of our emotions, of our conditionings, or our past experiences, if you want to call it like that. While the right channel is different. The right channel is all about our physical activities, or mental activities, or planning towards the future. And what I would like to say is, most of us in a day-to-day life, we are moving from the left side, we can be a bit emotional, to the right side, so on and so forth, and we are fairly balanced. And this balance is so important because if we are not in balance, it is very difficult for our spiritual growth to take effect. The central channel is the parasympathetic nervous system in the medical science, and it's the channel that looks after everything that's done automatically, like breathing. I hope nobody has to think to breathe, like our reflexes, like our digestive systems. All these things are done automatically. And that energy is awakened when you get what we call a self-realization in Sahaja Yoga, when someone who is realized can give you the same experience. And that energy will open these different chakras. So what is a chakra? In medical science, it's a plexus. It's I would say a knot of nerves that actually controls a lot of the organs we have at a different level of our body. But at the subtle level, these chakras represent some more subtle qualities, like love and compassion for the heart, like the sense of collectivity or belonging at the throat level, or the sense of peace here at the navel level, or creativity. But how do we understand that actually these elements are part of us, because it's not something you can feel as easily as if you have a pain in your stomach, right? The way it works is that when you get that energy, that Kundalini awakened for the first time, you can start feeling in your hands, you can start feeling on your central nervous system the state of these different chakras, the state of these different plexuses. And actually you can measure how deep these qualities are already established in you. And by feeling, you can actually feel some cool breeze in your hands. For example, if you are someone that's too emotional, too much on the left side, you may feel some heat on the left hand, but coolness on the right hand. While if you are someone that's planning too much, thinking too much, you might feel the opposite, with some heat in the right hand and some coolness in the left hand. In the same way, if some of these chakras are not fully open, not fully established in you, you might actually feel some tingling, some numbness, or some heat on specific fingers of your hands and on different parts of your body, but we'll cover that another time. We won't have time to do that today. So I didn't explain that last time. So what you can see here, for each of your fingers, each finger has a relationship to a specific chakra. For example, the pointing finger is related to that center. So when I meditate and I feel the left one, it means that on the left side of that chakra or plexus, there's some things that are blocking the energy moving forward. If I feel it on the right side, it's the right aspect of that energy, of that chakra, that might not be fully established. While if I feel both of them, it means that the central aspect of that center is not fully established. And in the future, we will go in more details, chakra by chakra, explaining what is the left qualities of the chakra, what is the right quality of it, and what's the central quality of it. But what's the purpose? What's the purpose of that subtle system? What's the purpose of actually getting what we call self-realization? The purpose is to actually raise into a higher level of awareness where we can actually know ourselves, know the truth, but not only that, know everything around us. Because when this energy rises above the seventh chakra, we enter into what we call thoughtless awareness and a collective consciousness where we can feel not only ourselves but also other people, and we can not only grow ourselves but help other people as well. So how do we get that self-realization? It's a very simple process, and I would like to propose to you to actually go through this first meditation and start to feel, if you already attended one of our webcasts, or maybe feel for the first time if you joined us tonight. So let me show you the process, and after that we are going to do it eyes closed. So I hope at home you have a nice little place, you are sitting on your computer. If you can remove your shoes, it's better to have your feet flat on the ground, touching the ground. We will see in some future webcasts that the elements like the earth, water, air, the ether, all of that is actually, we use it actually to improve ourselves. Relax. If you have something too tight, simply make it less tight. And the way we are going to meditate is by putting our hands flat on our laps. So if you can do that with me now, simply put your hands flat on your laps. And what we're going to do, the left hand will always remain on our lap, while the right hand will actually move from one center to the other one, where we are going to say some affirmations highlighting the qualities of these centers. So let me walk you through that now. The first center where we are going to put our right hand is the heart. And the second one will be just under the rib cage. Everything is done on the left side of our body. Then we are going to move down just at the lower part of the abdomen, just above the hips. Then we are going to move back up. Go back on our heart. And then the most complicated one, which is actually put your right hand at the junction of your neck and the shoulder on the left. And we can even move our head towards the right a little bit. Then we are going to put our right hand on our forehead, across. And then the right hand, we are going to stretch the hand so that the center of the palm, which represents the seventh center here, we can put some pressure on that bone called the fontanelle area, which was soft when we were kids. You might have kids and sometimes you see it pulsating with very young children. We are going to press it hard, and that's where we are going to ask for self-realization. All right? I hope you are all with me. So what we are going to do now is put your hands on your laps, stay relaxed, and there is no need to concentrate or no need to think about it. Just witness it and just take it as an experiment, and like a scientist, just see if you can see an outcome. And we'll see that in a few minutes. So put your hands on your laps. And now we can remove our spectacles as well if you have some glasses. Because we are not going to need them. And now we are going to close our eyes and put the right hand on your heart. And you can put your attention on your heart as well. And here we can ask a question to that motherly energy, the Kundalini. Or we can actually ask this question 3 times. Mother, am I the spirit? 3 times. Because we are more than just this body or living in this material world. Then bring down your hands just under the rib cage on the left side with your right hand. And here you can ask another fundamental question. Mother, am I my own master? Am I my own guide? And we can ask that question 3 times again. Now bring down your hand at the lower part of the abdomen, your right hand, on the left side, just above the hip. And here you can ask 6 times, because this plexus has 6 subplexuses, or this chakra has 6 petals. You can ask for the pure knowledge. So here you can ask 6 times, Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. The knowledge of this subtle system. Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. Now bring back up the right hand just under the rib cage again. And here it's no more a question, but an affirmation, where we are going to say, Mother, I am my own master. And you can say that 10 times because it represents the 10 valencies of human beings. Mother, I am my own master. Because now you have the knowledge. Now put back your hand on your heart, putting your attention there as well. And here we can say 12 times, Mother, I am the Spirit. I am the pure Spirit. With complete faith in yourself. Now you can put the right hand at the junction of the shoulder and the neck on the left side. And you can turn your head towards the right to put a little bit of pressure on that point. And here you can say up to 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Because if you feel guilty, you cannot relate to others properly, which is this center's quality. And guilt is not useful because we don't face ourselves. So 16 times. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we can put our right hand on our forehead across. And here, this energy, the Kundalini, will not raise higher if you don't forgive. This is the message that Christ has given us, forgiveness. So if you don't forgive, you keep at the mental level, rather than moving higher in this thoughtless awareness that we all seek. So here we can say, doesn't matter how many times, but forgive. You can say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Without thinking of anyone in particular, just general. Mother, I forgive everyone. You can also forgive yourself or any situations that you feel are hurting you. Now, stretch your hands, put it on top of your head on the fontanelle bone area. Press it hard and rotate it a little bit, like massaging the skin on the skull. And here, you have to have that desire to get your self-realization, this higher awareness. So here you can say 7 times, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Seven times. And now what you can do is raise your right hand about 5 to 10 centimeters above your head. You can open your eyes if you wish. See if you can feel the coolness coming out of your head. It can be quite strong, or maybe it can be a bit hot to begin with. If you feel coolness, it means, even if you feel the heat, it means the Kundalini has awakened in you. Try with the left hand as well. 5 or 10 centimeters above your head. See if you can feel this coolness. Some people are more sensitive with one hand rather than the other one. Without thinking, keeping your attention above your head or on top of your head, just see if you can feel coolness, heat, or numbness in some fingers in your hands. Without thinking, just observing. I'm sure many of you have felt something, either coolness, or maybe one hand that's cool, the other one that's not cool. That's the beginning of this information, of this knowledge that you acquire, knowledge that is beyond the mental activity. This is the beginning of actually becoming your own master, where you don't need to read a book, you don't need to listen to anyone, but you know in your meditation what's the state of your subtle system. So simply we can keep our hands on our laps for maybe a couple of minutes. Keep our attention on top of our head. And try to stay in thoughtless awareness, even if it's for a second. If you have thoughts, simply forgive them. Let them go, let them pass. The future doesn't exist. The past doesn't exist. In the present moment, you become the Absolute. without thinking. And try to go higher, above your head. You can slowly open your eyes. This is what yoga is about. It's becoming one with this divine power that surrounds us. This is what yoga was for thousands of years, not just exercises. So how is this new method coming along, Sahaja Yoga? Sahaja Yoga was introduced by Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. You can see the photo here. Shri Mataji was born realized, and in 1970, Shri Mataji found a way to actually give self-realization en masse, to many people at any point in time. It might not be the same intensity of all the people that spend times meditating, seeking their spirituality, but once you get the information in your hands, you know where you need to put your attention, and yourself easily you can actually grow spiritually and get to that new awareness promised by all the traditions around the world. Shri Mataji traveled all countries in the world. She got many awards. She was nominated for the Nobel Prize as well. And her entire life was dedicated for human beings' emancipation. Now, what I would like to do is to move to the other topic, which is yoga. And before to actually talk about it more, I would like to play a video of Shri Mataji talking about what is the real yoga. It lasts about 11 minutes, and we'll get back together after this video.
Every religion has said that you seek yourself. So there was nothing wrong with all the prophets, incarnations, all the saints. They all said the same thing. But we have missed the point. Everything has become either money-oriented or is an intellectual probing. It is through intellectual probing you reach a point where you realize that you have not reached the reality. So what should we do? And this is a very great gift of modern times, which was promised long time back. It's described already in our Puranas that at the time, these modern times called as Kali Yuga, the Parama Chaitanya, or this all-pervading power, will become active. Means there is Kruta Yuga, it will become active. And through it, thousands of people will get their realization. Even in the Bible, they have said that it's quite a limited number. John has written in his Revelation, it's quite a limited number, but we have already crossed that. And so many people have to become realized souls. It's very important today, and it's so easy. Sahaja. Saha is with, Ja is born. Born with you is the right to become one with the divine, united with the divine, that is yoga. Yoga is nothing but to be united with that divine power. That's what yoga is. All other things are subsidiary. This union brings forth new dimensions on our central nervous system. As an evolution, we always develop a new dimension. By this, you develop a new awareness of collective consciousness, by which you can feel other people, their centers. Sitting down here, you can feel the center of somebody who is dead. Even you can feel his centers and find out what he was. Was he a realized soul or not? You can find out about anybody, whether he was a realized soul or not, sitting down here. You have to just think about it, put your hands. If you are a realized soul, you can feel on your fingertips what is the problem. And somehow if you know how to correct those problems, you get rid of your own diseases and the diseases of others, your own problems and the problems of others. First you enter into a state of mind which we call as thoughtless awareness. When you cross this center of Agya, that is placed in the optic chiasma, you become thoughtlessly aware. You are aware, but there is no thought. It's what a blessing it is.
Sahaja Yoga, as we know, is a spontaneous union of the individual consciousness with the divine power through the awakening of our Kundalini, which many times remains dormant in our system. Mataji, it's a pleasure to talk to you right in your home turf in New Jersey. And tell us, I know last 4 years ago I met you, it was a great experience, and I want to tell our viewers again what it is all that you've been doing, promoting Sahaja Yoga for the last 30 years now, all over the world. Tell us again briefly, for viewers who don't know what Sahaja Yoga really means and signifies, what does it do and how do we get that absolute knowledge through this discipline?
Saha means with, Ja means born. Is born with you the right to get this yoga is the union with the divine. So this is your birthright. All human beings have this right to get the awakening of their Kundalini, by which they become one with the divine power. This is the real yoga.
Right. And as I said, even the ancient sages and astrologers, Bhrigu Muni talks about it, and you've written in your book also, Meta the Mira, yes.
They all have talked about it. But in those days, they used to work on about, say, thousands of people, then select one of them, then cleanse them, and then they used to give them realization.
Right.
Now the difference of this modern Sahaja Yoga, you can call it, is
Right.
this.
Yes.
That you first give them awakening. Let them see for themselves what's wrong with them.
Right.
Alright. Once they find out, let them correct themselves. And then it's perfect.
Right.
Because if you try like this, then it will take thousands of years
Right.
to give realization to many people. With this method, you can give collectively to thousands of people realization. Now we have to change the world. And how can we do it? On individual basis if you go. This is the best way now. Thousands are getting realization all over. And now they are telling me it's in 86 countries working out. So we are going to have a global race, we can call it a global awakening, which is very important. And without this awakening, we cannot get transformed. This is to transform, to completely change.
Realization cannot be traded. It's not a business. It is something innate and living process. Just like a seed sprouts, this happens to you and you become a self-realized soul. As a result of that, as I told you, your awareness becomes collectively conscious. You start feeling the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost coming out of your head, and also you feel this all-pervading power as cool breeze in your hands. Then when you start practicing it a little bit, your connections become settled with this all-pervading power. Then such a person becomes very peaceful and very dynamic, extremely dynamic, untiringly he can work. He is never frustrated, he is never angry, he is never upset. He becomes very peaceful and extremely compassionate. But the compassion is such that it acts. Even a glance of such a person acts on the being, and it brings forth the benevolence of others. This is for the benevolence of others. Unless and until this happens, you are not a Sahaja Yogi, nor you are in the right place. Now in Sahaja, Saha means with, Ja means born. Born with you is the right to be one, united with this divine power, which is the yoga. This is the real yoga. All other yogas are subsidiary. They help you out here. And those people who do artificial yogas do not achieve anything. Once this happens, the transformation takes place. I have seen people becoming very beautiful and so great that one day will come, this world has to change, and we all will be filled with that feeling of collective consciousness, where we'll all feel that we are belonging to one personality, part and parcel of one personality, the microcosm, the parts of a macrocosm. This has to happen. Many people are talking about it, hinting about it. As they say, it's the age of Aquarius. That's a fact. Aquarius is the Kumbha, is the one, is the pitcher, which is where the Kundalini is placed. And that's why it's the age of the Aquarius. They talk about it. They get the glimpses, but they are not there. We have to be there. For that, you don't have to pay. But little time has to be given. Within a month, I'm sure, you can become masters of that. And all your problems should be solved, your physical, mental, emotional.
Welcome back. Now I would like to talk about yoga. What's the meaning of yoga? What's the origin of yoga? What is it designed for? And how in modern time we are taking a very different take on it. Yoga means join. If you look at the translation itself, is to join. Yuti in Sanskrit. It's actually traditionally in the past to become one with the divine, one with our own spirit. And that's the essence that was described originally thousands of years ago by Patanjali in these big books where he described different aspects of it, about 8 different aspects of that yoga. And Sahaja Yoga has the same essence of Patanjali Yoga because it has the same objective, which is to get our self-realization. But we do it very differently because Sahaja means spontaneous, born with it, with you. So it means that spontaneously you can have that self-realization, that spiritual achievement, without spending a lifetime actually meditating, trying to clear one center, one chakra, one after another, until you get to that stage to get your self-realization. In modern times, when I walk in the streets of Melbourne, I see many different things: hot yoga, acrobatic yoga, breathing, physical, but that's all disconnected with the essence of yoga. It might be relaxation, it might be, getting fit, but it has nothing to do with the real meaning of yoga. The yoga means to get our self-realization, to get that subtle system in balance, and to achieve this higher level of awareness. The thing is, without the knowledge, the true knowledge of yoga, doing exercises, doing some breathing technique or some concentration technique might even be detrimental. Because it's like throwing all the medicine box to someone, hoping that he will get better, but it's not the case. Specific physical exercises were designed or adequate when trying to help a chakra to open or balance the left and the right. Some breathing technique, the same way, were designed for specific people under the guidance of masters to actually bring the system in balance and allow this energy, the Kundalini energy, to go higher. So yoga is certainly the greatest thing that can happen to us, and I hope that today you will get the message that our self-realization is certainly what we have all been seeking for. Yoga is this union, this connection is what we have been looking for, even if we have been looking in the wrong directions. And if you look at all the traditions in the world, all the religion, what is the meaning of the word religion? Religion means in Latin religare, which means to link. Again, it is the same process to get your self-realization, to get to that stage where you go beyond thoughts, in thoughtless awareness, and where you actually start to understand who you are and get the great answers to the questions that you have. So this is what yoga is. So I would like now to do a short meditation together again, and maybe just a few minutes. We are going to put some music behind the scene, and I will just guide you through and trying to feel more this energy that is flowing in your hands and in your central nervous system. So just put back your hands on your laps. Just relax. You can take a couple of deep breaths. You can close your eyes. And if you can, try to put again your attention on top of your head. With only this desire to have our yoga, to have our self-realization. Forget the past. The past is gone. Forget the future. It's not here yet. Just rise into this thoughtless awareness, into this present moment. Forgive your thoughts. And again, put your right hand on top of your head. And again, press it hard. And ask, Mother, please may I get my self-realization. For those who have felt it before, you can say, Mother, please establish my self-realization. You can say it a few times. And put back your hands on your laps. Just witnessing the silence in you. Maybe feeling some sensations in your hands. And when you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes. And I hope you all enjoyed this meditation again. Alright. What I would like now to do is to show you how you can meditate. You can actually improve this awareness in your hands. Improve this state of thoughtless awareness, improve this state where this energy, the Kundalini, is actually awakened and you're actually collectively conscious and you're actually in touch with your spirit. The key to meditation is to do it every day. Well, no, we are all confined, isolated in our homes. We might have a bit more time. So it's a perfect time to do it. And what I suggest, take 5 minutes in the morning and I will show you how to meditate now. So ideally, the way we meditate, we have a photo of Shri Mataji because certainly Shri Mataji is the person that taught us everything and we respect her tremendously. We have a candle also on a specific place. The candle is an element that's very good to actually correct our left side. And the way we meditate is simply sit on the ground if you can, or on a chair, that's fine as well. And the first thing we do is raise our energy, the Kundalini, and put ourselves in a protection we call a bandhan. And I will show you how we do it together. To raise the Kundalini, the left hand is moving upwards and the right hand is rotating around it like that. So we can do it together. And we do that 3 times. And on top of our head, we can do a symbolic knot, like requesting the Kundalini, the energy, to stay at the last chakra, the Sahasrara chakra. We do it a second time. And put your attention where your left hand is. And you might feel even the Kundalini rising while you do that. And we do another knot. And the 3rd times, we will do 3 knots. Raise your Kundalini and do 3 knots and try to keep your attention on your Sahasrara, on top of your head or above your head. Then we do what we call a bandhan, which is a protection. Now you have what we call the coolness you can feel in your hands. We call it vibrations. So what you can do is spread the vibrations around you. With the right hand, you start on the left side and you do half a circle around you like that, and you come back with the right hand, starting on the left side. And we do that 7 times to protect your 7 centers and chakras. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I hope you are all with me on this one. So you do that in the morning, preferably before you start checking Facebook and the news, and get your mental going and your thoughts going. Just wake up, wash your head, wash your face, just meditate for 5 minutes before to do anything else. And after raising this energy and putting yourself in this bandhan, this protection, just meditate for 5 minutes. Putting your hands on your lap, without thinking, and just trying to feel this energy working within us. After 5 minutes, some people like to stay more, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Do the same thing when you're finished. You simply raise this energy again and put yourself in the bandhan, and then have your breakfast and go on with your day. In the evening, you can do the same thing. Or you can do a technique we call foot soak. I'll talk about it in another session, and that will come in a few weeks' time. But if you really want to know about it, go again on our website, freemeditation.com.au, where these techniques are all explained to you. And again, about this subtle system, a lot of information is on our website as well, because there's a lot to cover and we only had 45 minutes. So please, don't forget to come back next week. We'll have a tremendous session next week where we are going to talk specifically about the first center here, the Muladhara chakra. So in the meantime, have a great week. Looking forward to see you in 1 week's time. Thank you very much.